The transport hub buzzed with the usual chaos of 1,000 species going about their business. Marcus Webb sat at a corner table in the observation deck, nursing a cup of coffee that had gone cold an hour ago. He watched the ships come and go through the transparent aluminum viewport, their engines leaving trails of blue plasma against the black of space. A shadow fell across his table. Marcus looked up to find a young Vorian standing there. Her crystalline skin dimmed to a pale gray instead of its usual vibrant purple. Her 3-fingered hands clutched a small container to her chest. The bioluminescent markings along her neck that usually pulsed with energy were barely visible. "Human," she said, her voice translator rendering her words with a slight mechanical echo. "My mother died today. Can I spend the day with you?" Marcus blinked. The request was so direct, so vulnerable, that he found himself nodding before his brain caught up. "Okay, but remain close." The Vorian sat down across from him without another word. She placed the container on the table between them. Through the transparent material, Marcus could see what looked like crystalline fragments, each one glowing faintly with an inner light. "My name is Lara," she said after a long moment. "I am 17 cycles old." "That is young for my people." "Marcus," he replied. "I'm 32 years. Also relatively young, I suppose." They sat in silence for several minutes. Marcus had no idea what protocol demanded in a situation like this. Human customs varied wildly depending on culture, and he had no frame of reference for Vorian grief. So he did what felt natural. He just sat there, present and quiet. "Do humans believe the dead watch over them?" Lyra asked suddenly. Marcus considered the question carefully. "Some do. Others don't. We have hundreds of different belief systems about what happens after death. What do Vorians believe?" "We know," Lyra said, and there was no arrogance in her tone, only certainty. "When we die, our consciousness fractures into these." She gestured to the container. "Each piece holds a memory, an emotion, a thought. They fade over time, returning our essence to the cosmic lattice." "That sounds beautiful," Marcus said, and meant it. "It is supposed to be." Lyra's markings flickered once, briefly. "But it also means she is truly gone. There is no afterlife where I will see her again. Just these fragments, growing dimmer each day until nothing remains." Marcus felt his chest tighten. He recognized that particular flavor of grief, the one that came with absolute finality. How did it happen? Cascade failure in her neural matrix. The doctor said it was painless, that she simply stopped between one moment and the next. Lyra ran a finger along the edge of the container. She was in the middle of singing. She loved to sing. What was she singing? A lullaby. One she used to sing to me when I was newly emerged from my growth pod. Lyra's voice grew quieter. I cannot remember all the words anymore. Without thinking, Marcus reached across the table and placed his hand near hers. Not touching, but close enough to be a clear gesture of comfort. Lyra looked at his hand, then at him. "Your species is strange," she said. "You are not pack-bonded like the Kellereth. You are not hive-minded like the Trell. Yet you offer comfort to someone you have never met, whose species you barely understand." Marcus shrugged. "Pain is universal. You don't need to understand someone completely to recognize when they're hurting. Is that a human thing? I'd like to think so, though we're not always good at it." Announcement chimed through the observation deck, calling passengers for a departure to the outer rim. Neither of them moved. "I should have been there," Lyra said suddenly. "I was studying for my exams at the academy. She told me not to come, that she would be fine, that I should focus on my future. I listened to her." Her markings flared briefly, turning sharp red. "I listened, and now she is gone, and the last thing I said to her was that I would call her next week." Marcus felt the familiar weight of regret settle in the space between them. When my father died, I was in the middle of an argument with him. We hadn't spoken in 3 months. The last thing I said to him was that I didn't need his advice, and he should stop treating me like a child. Lyra's eyes, large and multifaceted like cut gems, focused on him. Did you reconcile? No. He had a heart attack 2 days later. I never got the chance. Do you regret it? Every day, Marcus admitted. But I've learned something. The regret doesn't mean our love was insufficient. It just means we're mortal, and mortality is messy and imperfect. Lyra was quiet for a long moment. Then she opened the container and carefully removed one of the crystal fragments. It pulsed with a soft violet light. This one holds her laughter, she said. I can feel it, even as it fades. She laughed often. At silly things, at profound things, at nothing at all sometimes. She sounds wonderful. She was. Lyra held the fragment up to the light streaming through the viewport. She wanted me to see the universe, to meet other species, to learn that we Vorians are but one note in a grand symphony. She looked at Marcus. She would have liked you, I think. Why? Because you did not hesitate when I asked to sit with you. Because you do not demand that I explain myself or justify my grief. You simply exist alongside it. Marcus smiled sadly. Sometimes that's all anyone can do. They sat together as the station rotated, the view shifting from deep space to the curve of the nearby planet, a world of swirling green and gold atmospheres. Other patrons came and went. A Kelrith family argued over travel arrangements. A group of human traders laughed too loudly at their own jokes. Life continued around them, while they existed in their small bubble of shared sorrow. Tell me something about Earth, Lyra said eventually. Something small and true. Marcus thought for a moment. In the autumn, leaves change color and fall from the trees. People gather them into piles for children to jump in. It serves no practical purpose, but we do it anyway because it brings joy. That is strange. Extremely. I like it. Lyra's markings brightened slightly, edging toward lavender. Vorians do not have seasons. Our world maintains constant climate. But we have the resonance tides when the twin moons align and cause our cities to hum with harmonic frequencies. Children dance in the streets and adults join them. And for 3 days we do nothing but celebrate. Sound, that sounds amazing. My mother loved the tides. She would take me to the highest platform in our city so we could feel the vibrations more strongly. Lyra placed the crystal fragment back in its container with the others. I will go to the tides this year. I will dance for both of us. She would like that. Yes, Lyra agreed. She would. The light through the viewport had shifted again, painting everything in shades of amber. Marcus glanced at his chronometer and realized 5 hours had passed. He had missed 2 meetings and ignored half a dozen messages. He didn't care. I should return to my ship, Lyra said, though she made no move to stand. My father and siblings will be waiting. We will hold the ceremony of dissolution tonight, where we release her fragments to space. That sounds difficult. It is necessary. We do not cling to the dead. We honor them and let them return to the cosmos. Lyra finally stood, gathering her container carefully. Thank you, Marcus Webb of Earth. You have given me a gift today. I didn't do anything. You did everything that mattered. You remained close. Marcus stood as well. On impulse, he held out his hand in the human gesture of farewell. Lyra looked at it, then carefully reached out and placed her hand in his. Her skin was cool and smooth, like polished stone. Humans shake hands, Marcus explained. It's a way of saying we see each other, that we matter to each other, even briefly. They shook hands solemnly. If you are ever on Vorian Prime, Lyra said, look for me. I will show you the resonance tides. And if you're ever on Earth, I'll show you autumn leaves. Lyra's markings flickered through several colors, finally settling on a soft blue that Marcus somehow understood meant gratitude. Then she turned and walked away, her silhouette growing smaller as she headed toward the departure gates. Marcus sat back down. His coffee was beyond cold now, practically frozen. He ordered another one and watched the ships come and go. Somewhere in the vast complexity of the galaxy, a Vorian girl grieved for her mother. And for one day, one human had sat beside her in that grief, proving that even across the unbridgeable distances between species, some things remained universal. That pain was universal, but so was kindness. That so was connection. And sometimes that was enough.